Hey, good morning. It's Incident Meteorologist Andy Gorelow here with your daily weather update for the Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon fires. And with that, we'll go ahead and show a morning satellite image. So what we're looking at this morning is just the cloud cover, the visible satellite, which is taken up at about 22,000 miles in space, just showing you what the clouds look like this morning. So as you can see, where the fire is generally located is kind of right up in this area up here. We're looking at fairly clear skies this morning. Most of the clouds we had overnight have pushed off to the north. You can see a lot of cloud cover out to the west, and then fairly clear skies generally south of where we're located. So with that, we're going to be looking at mostly sunny skies through at least early afternoon before we start to see some increasing clouds. And typically, we start to see clouds develop over the mountain ranges first, which you can kind of see down here across the Sacramento Mountains. So as the day goes on, we're going to start to see the clouds develop once again like we did yesterday. Go ahead to the next slide, please. So this image here is more of our water vapor. This just shows you how much moisture is in the atmosphere. And so where we are located, once again, up in this area here, there's still plenty of moisture out there in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. But as you can see out further west, where that darker blue color is, or lighter blue color is where the deeper moisture is located. So right now, the deepest moisture plume is actually a little bit further off to the west. And that's going to be the focus for today for the heaviest rain. The biggest coverage of thunderstorms will be a little bit further west today. But we still have plenty of moisture where we're located to generate a few isolated afternoon thunderstorms. Now let's go to the next slide, please. So last night, this is a precipitation image from yesterday, the last 24 hours. And as you can see, we had quite a bit of rain out here in western New Mexico. This is the Cerro Pelado fire out near Jemez Springs. That they had several places that had over an inch of rain with these thunderstorms as they move through. So quite a bit of rain over across western New Mexico. But over our fire here, we had a little bit of rain last night, a few hundreds here and there, but mostly across the western half of the fire. And that's actually kind of good because the most active region of the fire where it's burning is generally up in this area. So any kind of precipitation is going to be very helpful. And that's what we did see last night was a few hundreds as we moved into the midnight and the overnight hours. So any rain is good, but at least we had a few hundredths of an inch of rain last night. Next slide, please. So this is just our forecast map, what we're looking at currently. We have pretty strong high pressure right over the middle part of the country. So clockwise circulation around the high. We got a really strong low for this time of year digging off the western Pacific coast, and that's creating a southwest flow, and then the flow around the high pressure creates more of a southeast flow. So all that is pulling up moisture. We've been talking about this for the past several days, where the moisture coming from the Gulf of Mexico and moisture coming up from the Gulf of California is bringing all that monsoonal moisture we're seeing in New Mexico now. So what we're looking at over the next few days is this high pressure kind of shifts off to the east. We're still going to continue with that clockwise pattern, still pulling up plenty of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. Not quite as much now from the Gulf of California, but we're still going to be seeing moisture pulling up into our area. So the high is in a very good location for us to see increasing moisture. And we'll go to the next slide. And here's our precipitation forecast over the next several days. So what we're looking at today, as you can see, that the main moisture band is located over western New Mexico. That's where we're expecting the most precipitation is across the west. As we move into Sunday, that moisture band starts to push a little further to the east. So you can see a little bit higher precipitation coverage over the Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon fires. So we're looking at better coverage tomorrow for thunderstorms, showers, potentially heavy rain. And then as we go into Monday, you can continue to see that moisture band pushes a little further east. And that's a day that we're going to be looking at for potentially widespread heavy rain, thunderstorms, and potential flash flooding. That's a day we're going to have to watch carefully because as that moisture band, there's so much moisture in the atmosphere, any of these thunderstorms will be capable of producing some very heavy rain. And then as we go even further into the week, we're looking at quite a bit of precipitation. Now this is forecast. This isn't what we're totally expecting. But this is just a forecast precipitation. And as you can see, right where we are located here, they're generally looking at around 2.5 to maybe 4 inches of rain in some of the higher peaks. So that is good news in a sense that we need the rain, but we don't need it all at one time. So flash flooding will certainly be a concern, something we're going to have to watch very carefully for flash flooding, debris flows, anything like that. So we are expecting quite a bit of precipitation over the next several days. Now let's go to the next image. So this is just a thunderstorm threat guidance map. So when you look at our fire here, the Calf Canyon Hermit's Peak, today we are generally looking at a moderate threat of thunderstorms. But as we go Sunday through Wednesday, we have a high threat of seeing thunderstorms each day. And with that, like I mentioned, flash flooding will certainly be a concern. We're not looking for really strong winds to impact the fire, but the main concern will be flash flooding and debris flows as we start going into Sunday through the middle part of next week. And we'll go to the next slide, please. And so this is just our matrix we create every day. What you really want to see is a lot of green. Green is just moderate to very slight burning conditions, and that's what we are seeing. We're seeing increasing precipitation chances Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and potentially even into Wednesday. So the higher humidities means less burning, cooler temperatures somewhat, and some not much wind to speak of. And that actually kind of is a negative when you have light winds. In a situation like this, the lighter the winds, the thunderstorms that do develop don't move very much. So as we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, most of the thunderstorms that do develop will not move. They will sit over the same locations and can produce very heavy rain over a short amount of time. So we'll definitely be watching for that as these thunderstorms continue into the middle part of the week. So with that, that's all I have for your forecast today, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.